Hi guys, welcome back to my class. I'm your Korean teacher, Emma from seemile. I'm so proud of your success up to this point. Now you know how to create sentences in the past, present, and future tenses. So today, while talking about the weather, we're going to compare those tenses as a review. But before that, let's learn about some vocabulary related to the weather. Please repeat after me out loud to help with retention. 비, 춥다, 오늘, 날씨, 막다, 빨래, 널다, 내일, 바람, 불다, 옷, 젖다, 운동화, 외투, 빨간색, 코, 빨개지다, 차, 눈, 쌓이다. Good job! Now let's review how to create declarative forms. We learned that to talk about current events or facts, depending on whether or not the last vowel of the word stem is O or A, we would use 아요 and 어요 respectively to complete our sentences. To talk about past events, we learned that we need to just add the at, ot pre-final ending right between the stem and 어요 ending. In other words, when the last vowel of the stem is O or A, at 않았어요, and when it isn't, at 젖었어요 after the stem. To talk about the future events, we used the 을 거예요 ending. We learned that when the verb stem ends in a vowel, 리을 거예요 should be attached, while just 거예요 should be added when the stem ends in a final consonant 리을. And when the stem ends in a consonant other than 리을, 을 거예요 is attached. Now let's watch a video about the weather and notice Kai's dialogue about the weather on a particular day.
어제는 비가 내렸어요. 히토미는 추웠어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요. 히토미가 빨래를 널어요. 내일은 바람이 불 거예요.
These sentences were completed with the 젖었어요 ending, so Kai is talking about past events. And he used the word 어제 as well, so he was saying it was raining yesterday and that Hitomi felt cold. These sentences finish with the 아요, 어요 ending, so Kai is talking about current fact, which is that it is sunny today and Hitomi is hanging laundry now. Here, the 리을 거예요 ending is used, so it's telling us about what's going to happen in the future, in particular, 내일, tomorrow. Now let's dig deeper so we can review other grammatical points such as the 비읍 irregular and 리을 deletion. Can you explain to me how the word 추웠어요 is formed? The dictionary form of the word to be cold is 춥다, but it is conjugated into 추웠어요, not 춥었어요, because the final consonant 비읍 of the stem 춥 changes to 우. Likewise, when some verbs or adjectives whose stems end in 비읍 are combined with an ending that starts with a vowel, the consonant 비읍 gets changed into 우, and we call that the 비읍 irregular phenomenon. Now take a look at this sentence. 불 거예요. What is the dictionary form of to blow? 불다. Since the stem 불 ends in the consonant 리을, we realize that the final ending 리을 needs to be deleted when it is combined with an ending that starts with 시옷, 비읍, 니은, or final consonant 리을 as in 리을 거예요. We call that the 리을 deletion phenomenon, and when it is applied here, the sentence becomes 불 거예요, not 불릴 거예요. Now, let me give you a few more example sentences. Try saying them out loud in Korean, paying close attention to the correct tenses. 아람 drank coffee yesterday. 아람이는 어제 커피를 마셨어요. 아람 drinks coffee. 아람이는 커피를 마셔요. 아람 will drink coffee tomorrow. 아람이는 내일 커피를 마실 거예요. Hitomi was sad yesterday. 어제 히토미는 슬펐어요. It is hot. 날씨가 더워요. It will snow tomorrow. 내일은 눈이 올 거예요. Good job! As a review, repeat after me out loud. 어제는 비가 내렸어요. 히토미는 추웠어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요. 히토미가 빨래를 널어요. 내일은 바람이 불 거예요. 아람이는 어제 커피를 마셨어요. 아람이는 커피를 마셔요. 아람이는 내일 커피를 마실 거예요. 어제 히토미는 슬펐어요. 날씨가 더워요. 내일은 눈이 올 거예요. Now let's review how to create negative sentences in those same tenses. One easy way was to just add 안 in front of the verbs or adjectives regardless of the tense. Another way was to use 지 않다 ending. For the past sentence, 지 않았어요. The present, 지 않아요. And the future, 지 않을 거예요 is attached. Notice how this is applied in the following video.
어제는 비가 안 내렸어요. 히토미는 안 추웠어요. 오늘은 날씨가 안 맑아요. 히토미는 빨래를 안 널어요. 내일은 바람이 안 불 거예요.
어제는 비가 내리지 않았어요. 히토미는 춥지 않았어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑지 않아요. 히토미는 빨래를 널지 않아요. 내일은 바람이 불지 않을 거예요.
Let's make these sentences negative. One way is just adding 안 in front of the predicate regardless of the tense. So, 어제는 비가 안 내렸어요. 히토미는 안 추웠어요. 오늘은 날씨가 안 맑아요. 히토미는 빨래를 안 널어요. 내일은 바람이 안 불 거예요. The next way is by using the 지 않다 ending. 어제 내렸어요, 추웠어요. This is about the past, so 어제는 비가 내리지 않았어요. 히토미는 춥지 않았어요. 오늘 맑아요, 널어요. This is about the present, so 오늘은 날씨가 맑지 않아요. 히토미는 빨래를 널지 않아요. Next, 내일 불 거예요. These words show that this sentence is about the future, so 내일은 바람이 불지 않을 거예요. Now repeat after me. 어제는 비가 안 내렸어요. 히토미는 안 추웠어요. 오늘은 날씨가 안 맑아요. 히토미는 빨래를 안 널어요. 내일은 바람이 안 불 거예요. 어제는 비가 내리지 않았어요. 히토미는 춥지 않았어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑지 않아요. 히토미는 빨래를 널지 않아요. 내일은 바람이 불지 않을 거예요. Good job! Now, in the following video, let's review how to ask and answer a question in Korean.
어제는 비가 내렸어요?
네, 어제 비가 내렸어요.
히토미 씨는 옷이 젖었어요?
네, 옷이 젖었어요.
오늘은 날씨가 맑아요?
네, 날씨가 맑아요.
내일은 바람이 불까요?
네, 내일은 바람이 불 거예요.
Isn't that just so easy? Just adding a rising tone at the end of a declarative sentence is all you need to do. Of course, when you speak formally, you need to do one more thing, which is changing the last word 다 into 가. But other than that, everything is the same as with the declarative form. As we did in the last few classes, I'll give you a sentence or an instruction in English. Please pause the video for a moment and verbalize out loud how you would say that in Korean, giving attention to your intonation as well. And then replay the video and check your answers. Let's start. 어제는 비가 내렸어요? 네, 어제 비가 내렸어요. 히토미 씨는 옷이 젖었어요? 네, 옷이 젖었어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요? 네, 날씨가 맑아요. 내일은 바람이 불까요? 네, 내일은 바람이 불 거예요. wait a moment. It will be windy tomorrow in Korean is 내일은 바람이 불 거예요. Then shouldn't its interrogative also be 내일은 바람이 불 거예요? Well, Koreans will still understand what you mean if you say it that way, but it would sound quite awkward. Why is that? To explain more about the ending 닐 거다, I would have to tell you that in most cases, it indicates the plan, the subject's will, or the speaker's assumptions about future events or states. But when it's used in interrogative sentences, it tends to imply not the speaker's guess about something, but only his personal plan or will. But as you know very well, the weather isn't something we can plan or change based on our personal will. So it would be odd to ask what the weather will be like in the future using the ending 닐 거다. So we recommend you use 을까 instead, as in 내일은 바람이 불까요? This is the ending that would accurately convey the thought that the speaker is making a guess. Here, all the answers starts with 네, which means yes, but you've also learned how to say no as well. 아니요. In English, you say yes when the answer is positive and no when negative. But in Korean, you say 네 when the fact implied in the question is true and 아니요 when it's not, regardless of whether the answer is positive or negative. For example, how would you ask in Korean if Hitomi's clothes weren't wet? Yes, that's right. 히토미 씨는 옷이 안 젖었어요? If you were Hitomi and your clothes were wet, how would you answer? Since the implication of the question is false, even though the answer is positive, you would start your answer by saying 아니요, 옷이 젖었어요. Before moving on to the next step, please repeat after me out loud to help you become more familiar with the sentences we just practiced. 어제는 비가 내렸어요? 네, 어제 비가 내렸어요. 히토미 씨는 옷이 젖었어요? 네, 옷이 젖었어요. 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요? 네, 날씨가 맑아요. 내일은 바람이 불까요? 네, 내일은 바람이 불 거예요. Excellent! Now let's learn one more new postpositional particle. Guess what it is while watching the following video?
히토미의 운동화가 젖었어요.
아람이의 외투는 빨간색이에요.
추위에 로한의 코가 빨개졌어요. 존의 차에 눈이 쌓일 거예요.
It's your first time to encountering this particle 의, isn't it? From what you heard so far, can you guess when it should be used? Let's see. 히토미의 운동화가 젖었어요. Can you guess whose sneakers were wet? Yes, 히토미's. 아람이의 외투는 빨간색이에요. Whose coat is red? Yes, 아람's. 추위에 로한의 코가 빨개졌어요. Did you catch whose nose turned red from the cold? 로한's. 존의 차에 눈이 쌓일 거예요. Snow will pile up on whose car? Yes, it's John's. Right. This particle 의 is used to indicate that the word following it is owned by or belongs to the noun preceding it. Then, keeping in mind that to be hot in Korean is 뜨겁다, how would you say 아람's tea is hot? 아람이의 차는 뜨거워요. Good job! Now repeat after me out loud. 히토미의 운동화가 젖었어요. 아람이의 외투는 빨간색이에요. 추위에 로한의 코가 빨개졌어요. 존의 차에 눈이 쌓일 거예요. 아람이의 차는 뜨거워요. Now, by solving the question on page 91, let's review what we've learned today. Number 1. Choose the right picture. Let's read the sentence out loud. 어제는 비가 내렸어요. 비가 내렸다 means it rained, so this means that yesterday it rained. In picture number 1, on the image of the calendar, the word today 5 is written under the 4th, so we can logically guess that the 4th was yesterday. So let's choose number 1 as the one that best describes the sentence. Pause and read the next sentence out loud, paying attention to what the intonation should be. Good job! 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요? 네, 날씨가 맑아요. Is it sunny today? Yes, it is. In number 3, apparently Kai is asking Hitomi if the weather is sunny, and Hitomi is apparently nodding to mean yes. So you can say that number 3 best describes the question and answer here. Now, question number 2. Complete the sentence. Choose from the list. Number 1. 어제는 비가. To rain is 비가 내리다, and it happened 어제, which is yesterday. So since this is in the past tense, 내렸어요 would be the correct answer. 어제는 비가 내렸어요. Number 2. 오늘은 날씨가. This phrase is about what the weather is like today, so out of the words in the list, 맑아요 suits it the most. 오늘은 날씨가 맑아요. Number 3. 아람이 외투는 빨간색이에요. We can assume that the speaker intended it to say that Aram's coat is red, and to show that something belongs to someone, the particle 의 needs to be used. 아람이의 외투는 빨간색이에요. 히토미가 빨래를. 빨래 is laundry. What do you do with laundry? For one thing, we can hang it up to dry. So 널어요 out of the words in the list would be the most appropriate answer. 히토미가 빨래를 널어요. Number 5. 내일은 바람이. To be windy is 바람이 불다. It will happen 내일, tomorrow, so 불 거예요 would complete the sentence correctly. 내일은 바람이 불 거예요. Number 6. 히토미는 않았어요. If we assume that 않았어요 is the part of the ending 지 않았어요, then we could fill the blank with the word 춥지. 춥지 않았어요. 히토미는 춥지 않았어요. Number 7. 히토미는 빨래를 널어요. Okay, it is grammatically correct in of itself. It means Hitomi is hanging the laundry. The blank is before the predicate, so only 안 out of the words on the list can be used with it, making the whole sentence negative. 히토미는 빨래를 안 널어요. Number 8. 추위에 로한의 코가. You are going to learn about the usage of 에 in the next class, but still you can assume what it means, can't you? Yes, that something happened to Rohan's nose due to the cold weather, and if you think about it, our noses usually turn red when it's cold, right? So 빨개졌어요 would be the answer. 추위에 로한의 코가 빨개졌어요. Good job! Now let me tell you about the weather here. 어제는 비가 왔어요. 오늘도 비가 왔어요. 날씨가 추워요. 내일은 비가 오지 않을 거예요. 날씨가 맑을 거예요. Please pause the video for a moment and tell me what the weather was like there recently and what you guess it will be like tomorrow. Feel free to use words other than the ones you learned today. Please use the dictionary to look them up when necessary and try to compose Korean sentences that indicate what the weather was really like. Excellent! Now you mastered how to create Korean sentences in various forms in the various tenses. Today you came across another postpositional particle, 에, several times, didn't you? You've already learned that you can use 에 to indicate that the preceding noun is referring to the location of an object or a person. But there are many more situations when you need to use this particle, 에. You're going to consider some of those as well as one more new particle, 에서, in our next lesson. See you then. Bye.